5 hours. So he can wake up and have 15 minutes to prep his 32-bit system and kick it off for 5 hours.
Is he East Coast?
No, he's West. West.
So he's starting at like 1 in the morning or something for him?
Is he East Coast? Yeah, he's I think he's Central Time.
Alright, I'm live.
Alright, shooter.
That's because he travels, doesn't he?
Yes. Alright. Well, y'all head over to Shooter, he's live, and thanks for joining. We will see you on the flippity flip. Alright, after that space stream.
Right.
Alright, I just changed over to voice activity rather than click to activate. That'll make talking easier here. I'm going to rely on you guys in chat, as well as you other Discorders, to let me know how the volume's coming through for hearing your guys' voices.
Let me go check for you.
Okay. So, welcome to the kingdom, everybody. The kingdom is a term that I use to define free-to-play players. The kingdom of free-to-play. I'm going to start off the stream by doing a quick analysis of the event for free-to-play and whether or not it should be something that you need to look for, or let's be honest, I'm not going to say pass up on this event. If you have the resources, go for it, because stars have aligned for you. Alright. Now, assuming you're at the scenario where you don't have enough gems to really grind this out, there are gems enough to where you should push everything that you have to at least getting up to Siegfried. While I don't normally promote pushing for Titans, and I really promote pushing for relics in this, Siegfried's just too good to pass up. Even the bad Siegfrieds are better than the best champion Titans that you're going to get. If you get a great Siegfried, then you're going to be able to contest pretty heavily, not only on attack, but defense for people your level and below. Now, Siegfried does have weaknesses, but overall, he's just a fantastic Titan. But if you are like me, and you are choosing to go the distance, almost every single relic in here is going to be a great thing to add to your arsenal. The bow, the Gungnir, and the head of Mimir, phenomenal. Odin's pretty nice too, because he has some set skills. Now, you guys recognize from before that I thought Krothos, that was released, was a very interesting Titan, because he's the equivalent of a relic in Titan form. The only difference is you can't equip him to other Titans, and that's just because all of his skills are set, and you know exactly what you're getting. Relics are the same way. Alright, so that aside, let me go ahead and get some music going on here. And Sergian, how is, if you can speak a little bit and tell me how it comes through sounding in the chat.
Alright.
And if this music is too loud. Alright, Real Hand, Nigel, Cooter, welcome to the stream.
Music is a tad bit loud.
Alright, I'm jerry-rigging things here. Alright. Okay, so the Titan I will be running with today is everyone's favorite skeleton, Calvarax. I did not complete the last Calvarax event, but I've had this guy since he came out back in October. Unfortunately, I never put any time into him, so he's only level 1. And if you guys are familiar with my videos, level 20 is the bare minimum for the Titan to be at if you plan on raiding with him. Now, if he's strong at level 20, by all means, he still just gets run over. But he can equip 2 relics, and that's the key. If you can get to a 3rd relic, then he can start being somewhat effective at level 30. But I'm just relying on my troops to carry me at the moment. Alright. Now I'm going to go ahead and start off this stream doing... Oh. I feel bad for this hooligans guy that attacked my mines, because all of my lands are undefended for the event. Alright, so I'm going to start off my stream with some forging. I know it's the most exciting thing that you guys were looking to come here for. But I'm going to do it anyway. Alright. I've been storing a whole bunch of relics, and once again, what I'm looking for is in the first 6 forges, 1 success. Going back to the superstition it was called out earlier, I am one of those superstitious guys. I'm going to find that this works, and the event is going great. I'm sitting at like born Scooby-Doo. Welcome to the stream. Now, if I don't get this tonight, I will be streaming again tomorrow. Looking for my little bit of luck. So my thought process is basically you forge 6 times. If you get a success, you go all in on that day. The luck day, as I call it. And I had my luckiest weekend last weekend where for 250 relics I got 2 4-star relics leveled up.
Wow.
I think this is number 5. I hope it's number 5. And I'm hoping I get a success. Oh, there we go. I'm going all in, guys.
Lucky day.
Yep. At the end of this, you guys will either know I'm full of crap or I got something to my name.
Or random number generators exist. I don't know. I just don't like relics sitting in the back.
Now, what I have found with this is that on the lucky days, it normally takes about 400 to 450 relics to level up a relic, or 4-star relic from level 1 to 10. Sometimes better. And that's 1 and 2 stars, no 3 stars. Yeah, well, you know what? When you're rolling straight 7s 5 times in a row, why stop? Music on this just a little bit. Actually, I'm going to turn it back up whenever everyone leaves the band. Or not band, but Discord.
Alright, shooter. So I'll fix the
Alright.
And
There we go. Another success.
going through.
Thanks for doing your part in this 24 hours.
Yes, I enjoyed it. I didn't get too late. Alright, there we go.
So far, we've got 2 successes off 1-star relics, going from levels 6 and 7. I have to stream more today, sir. How far did you make it in the event during the course of the stream?
2,000.
2,000 and some souls. That's about where I'm at now. Samicity, welcome to the stream. Nigel, you as well. Drew, if I said welcome to you, then great. If not, here's your welcome. I've been looking forward to this Odin event for quite some time. The other thing I do with this little method is whenever I get a success, I normally load back up my relics for my storage, so I can just use my 1 stars as much as I possibly can. The other great thing about doing this is that I can fuse some Titans.
How many relics, 3 and 4 stars do you have saved up?
Oh, my 4-star relics, I got about 5. And 3 stars, I probably have about the same amount. I only use them at 3 stars for foraging whenever I'm trying to get those last few levels on the 4-star. That's just being stubborn. Yeah, to be honest with you, the only 3-star relics I'm saving are the troop relics, and that's only when you just need that extra boost of troops. Like that 3-star mountain 3-star bitter dirts. I can't hear anything. Oh, Nick Triador can't hear anything.
Let me go check.
Alright. I'm level 8 and this thing still hasn't unlocked the 3rd skill. That is nuts.
I don't know. It sounds fine.
Alright, Nick, can someone type in chat and let Nick know that it's him, not us? That's terrible.
It's not me, it's you.
It's not me, it's you. Alright. Here we go. I have noticed that 4 stars have been dropping a lot more in battle drops. More than they used to. I'm one of those guys that never gets bitter dirts to drop, but I have the gilded arcs. I got like 10 of those.
I could use one of those, actually.
The game volume needs to be lowered. Give me a second.
I don't hear any game sound. Let me go check.
I just never get Goliath relics or the Grenadier defense. Never seen one.
Music and sound. Let me know if that helps, guys. I just turned off music and sound. Jim, welcome to the stream. Alright. Oh, dang it. Alright, here we go. Okay, it did unlock. It's Panther's Resist Against Physical.
Yeah,
Shocker.
okay, the game sound effects, you muted it. So.
Yeah. Here we go. We're going to get this to level 10, and then we're going to start working on the other mounted armor. That's the goal before we run out of 1 and 2 stars.
Got lucky last event when they were doing the 1K daily polls and managed to get a mount armor in there. The only downside is I had 3 level 1 mount armors and I didn't favorite any of them. There's a 1 in 3 chance I didn't get physical on a 1 in 5 chance roll.
I'm in the same boat. I've lost track of those key relics where it really depends.
Well, I'm going to scroll through my relics after this, and you guys can see my collections. And it just, I mean, to be honest with you, the battle drops, they need to update them, because you get the same ones all the time. Well, I appreciate that. This method has been working for me. I've had no issues with the current relic forging system because I can legitimately use 1 and 2 stars to forge things up from 1 to 10. But with the updated relic change, I think I'm going to start burning through my 3-star relics. Just because if they really do change how the forge mechanic works and you don't really need to use that many relics, then I might as well forge things up as quickly as I can while I know the system. Here we go. Alright, we're on to the 2 stars now. Oh. Now, I am, for any of you guys that are going to be grinding this out hard, a little bit of math for you. You're roughly going to be looking at about 400 battles a day if you have Calvarax or the Lightning Boar, if you're going to finish this straight grind. 400 battles a day will get you to about 28,000 souls at the end. And because it's such a long grind, I could see you, with the lucky days, get to the point where you are forging 3 4-star relics from 1 to 10. And currently speaking, I got about 40 5 and 4-star relics that have been leveled up completely. Not too impressive, but it's not too shabby either.
Nowhere near that number.
Here we go. Another success. Let's get the last of my relics out of here.
Am I the only person who just keeps their treasury in the couple hundreds of overflow constantly? I do it so that way I never have to delete troops. And I just forge every other day.
That's probably a smart thing to do, but I know that when I store up the relics like this, that's how I get relics forged up from 1 to 10. If I were just to go off of my 500 storage normally, I'd probably only be able to get a few levels at a time.
Yeah.
Alright, we are level 9.
Troops.
We're going to get this 5th level. Yeah. Do 6 in a row, stop if you don't succeed, and then wait 6 hours. I've tested it. I used to just do it once a day, but I've been testing multiple times a day to see if that works, and that's how I got my best forge day last week. Just seems like successes were coming left and right. Now, it's all superstition, but, once again, I'm a gambler. Ride the dice. And I know this is
working great for you.
Well,
What did you start at, 5 today?
Yeah, I started at 5 for this one.
Wow.
Now, I've been through about 100 relics because I've picked up almost as many Titans as I have relics. And then I've also picked up a bunch of Portal Stones. Maybe it's closer to about 150 at the time. That's on the high side, but 150 for 5 levels I think is worth it. Especially the top 5 levels as opposed to the bottom 5. And then being only 1 and 2 stars. Alright. If I gotta go in 3 stars to complete this one, I will, but I don't think I should have to. This last level is being a little bit difficult, as it always is. Now, how I got my 2 5-stars maxed out. Same method, and to be honest with you, 1 and 2 stars was all it took. But I had to have 5-6 million saved up, so I could only forge them during events when you're raiding till your eyes bleed. And I was only able to get about 5 levels at a time due to how much food it would just cost forging it. Here we go. We're going to get this level 10. We're going to celebrate a little. And we're going to go on to my other mounted armor if we have any more 1 and 2 star relics. If we don't, we're going to grind until we can fill this inventory up again. So tomorrow we can do it again. It's always a sad thing when I come to the end of my 2-star relics, because then I have to start worrying about my 3 stars, and I've got plenty of them at the moment. Woo! All right. Now my goal today is to get to about 5,600 souls. I'm not going to be able to do it entirely on stream, but we are going to see how far we can get. And in case I don't have the time, which is most likely, I have allotted 15 relics for use in this event, because I really do want to finish. All right, we've gotten into the 3 stars. That's right, purge the relic food. There we go. Took me 3 stars, but we got there.
Got it?
Yep.
Ooh. No. All right, congrats.
Yep. Now that the boring part of the stream is out of the way.
Alright.
It's the board.
Yeah.
A
And
lot of people seeing that success is the highlight of their day.
it looks like it took me about 175 relics. I'm guesstimating, and that's on the high side for 5 levels. And, that's better than the average, because it normally takes 400 to 450 in 2 stars to go from 1 to 10.
Alright, shooter. I'm gonna call it a night. Have a great rest of the stream.
No problem, man. Make sure you support the other YouTubers tomorrow when you can. I've tried to get on as I could. And
yeah, I don't know if I'm going to be up for Jaeger's stream, but maybe he's a lot in Soldier.
Yeah, there you go. I may stick with Jaeger for an hour, but I'm a dad and I got a few kids. All right.
All right. Take care and have a good night, guys.
Good night. All right. So, Vintage, you're the only one left in Discord, unless Rio Hand's here.
I'm still here.
All right. Well then, gentlemen, we are now crossed into the late night hours. Only the craziest of us are still in here. So I'm glad to be in great company. Now, how long have you guys been playing?
Are you a California guy?
Actually, Arizona, which is basically on Pacific time right now because they don't do daylight savings time. So it's only 10 o'clock here.
I did a contract in Arizona. I was there for about a year, and I loved the lifestyle.
Now, I do miss the green because I grew up back east in Georgia. But my better half is from here, and we have our family here. One day when I retire, I'm going to go off in the middle of nowhere because I work sales for a living. And the older I get, the more I realize I just don't like people.
Seems legit.
Now, how long have you been playing the game?
For me?
Yeah. Are you a beta? Or did you
Yeah,
start?
so I started half years ago.
Wow.
And Castle 19 and a half. And for reasons, I pretty much stopped playing.
Oh, wow.
My wife, I'm the luckiest man in the world because my wife is a gamer as well.
What?
Playing. It was either right at or just before global launch. It was Thanksgiving, a year and a half ago.
Mm-hmm.
About the time I came back to the game, kind of a similar time, and basically both kind of played on that one account. And my original account became so obscenely antiquated, it's just useless.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so this is kind of the history of, this account actually, but...
Real quick, Nick, I don't have any lightning resist mounted armors. I have a bunch of mounted armors. Or go ahead.
I don't think lightning resist troop defensive relics are in the game yet.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
I mean, if you go on DOT database, I've never seen it on there when I was building with stuff, and not to say it couldn't have been added, but if it's not on there, it's pretty unlikely.
Welcome all new subscribers. I know a few of you, if this is your first time to the stream, just want to welcome you. My channel's about a month and a half old now, and it does specialize in strategies to keep the cost down in this game. I want to hear more from you other guys in Discord here in a moment, but for the new players, I am a little bit about my credentials. I am Castle level 22, about to level up to 23, and I have lived in Legend for the past year and a half, ever since the original Krothos, when I started this game. So I don't really know another league besides Legend, and I joined non-toxic about the time that the first Ranger event came out, so right after Krothos. But that aside, Vintage, you hit, you were a beta player, and that's all that needs to be said, because you guys are still Legend in the game, but I remember all the hate that you guys used to get when the game first launched.
It's because, it just a humongous head start, and I understand.
That's all right. Things are starting to even out a little bit, though. So,
It's, ever since they brought Rangers into the game, I haven't opened my old account in eons, but I specifically remember I had a Kamathi with, just against fire. Just utterly useless Titans now. So nobody's using beta Titans anymore. If they are, it's just for the nostalgia.
I used to, no joke about this, but whenever I used to attack beta players and I'd see those unique skills on the Titans, I'd always wonder what they were.
When I say random, totally. There wasn't really any allegiance to, hey, Kamathi is a poison berserker, right? You could get any skills at any time on any Titan.
Wow. Well, and I'm going to tell you now, I did take a break from Dawn of Titans for a little bit. Last summer, It was right after the Skolnar event came out. I picked up Skolnar and I'd been leveling him up, and I was like, okay, well, I now have 18 level 3 Titans saved up, and I'm going to unlock that 4th skill. And at the end of it, I didn't unlock anything. I maxed out his level. I was putting combinations of 4 3-stars at a time, 1 3-star at a time, just doing whatever combination I could just to unlock 1 level in it. And when it didn't happen, I was like, done. I just dropped the game, sent a complaint to Natural Motion. And like 3 months later, I was on YouTube and I saw another one of Zalon's videos, and I was like, all right, it looks like they changed things up, and I came back. And there's been other issues that I've had with that game, but the community is really why I'm still here. I mean, it's just...
The people in this game are fantastic.
I've never seen the light, anything similar to it. And, I think the YouTubers that we have out there now, with the exception of me, because I'm still pretty new, just really drive the player base forward. I enjoy watching the videos at times and hearing people's thoughts and reactions to this.
Oh, just know I watch everybody's stuff as well. I mean, that's me. That's my channel. Dude, I'm all about, let's just talk about stuff. Talk straight to the community here.
Yep.
Even if you hate what I say, that's okay. Discussion, collaboration, and ideas are born. That's what it's about.
Now, if any of you guys are wondering why I keep using these fear spells at random times, it's because when I store up so many troops and drops, I can't allow, I go pick up spells, and I don't want me to be limited, and so I'm dropping all these spells, and let's face it, fear got nerfed really heavily. And so I'm not necessarily attached to it anymore. And I'm exploring.
When you see the level 25 fear, it actually got a buff.
I know, it's like a meteor storm in range.
It's humongous.
Well, I'm still keeping it because I got level 21 fear, and I keep leveling it up, and my fear is basically the same size as it was before. Before the nerf, so I was one of those few that I didn't get the radius really reduced on me. Just the time frame.
And that's the real nerf, is the time.
Now, I am a huge fan of Guardian Titans defending garrisons, but let's be honest, if your troops are not leveled, it doesn't matter what great skills you have, your troops are still going to get run over. And until you get to like level 21, 22, you're still going to lose 9 out of every 10 of your battles. In Legend, at least.
Yeah, in Legend, I mean, no impenetrable defense. There isn't.
And I guess I'm happy about that. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's nice whenever I get those greens, but when somebody is impenetrable, it just seems to be a little unfair.
Yeah. One of the nice things about Legends, though, is, like you're saying, like, nothing's impenetrable, and you don't only have one defender. Like, I'm not, by the way, Dromediddle, in case you're watching this, no, I'm not telling them what you're using. But I remember Dromediddle was going on about it in one of the chats the other day, how he was basically alternating between, like, I think it was 3 different defenders to the point where an entire alliance just gave up on attacking him. Because they couldn't get through the different defenses he had. So, I mean, like, defense essentially becomes, like, a much larger part of the game in terms of, like, trying to predict what they're going to attack with and everything in Legends.
A really good tactic for all those out there looking for defense in your war alliances. One of the sneaky things I would do, I would intentionally get my relics, so forth, to the point where I could have my Soul Czar just like my Italis, where it would have basically the same defensive number, but I'd try and catch him off last time because I had Italis. Well, maybe I'll catch him off guard with a Solzar.
I did that with the Solgar. It looks like a Grolgar.
Well, I think my unit, the Titan I have that I like defending with most is still definitely my Skolnar. Skolnar can be beaten, but even when he's beaten, and even when my troops are subpar, it just takes people time.
Yeah, and that's a big part of it too.
I don't even necessarily look for the greens because at the end of the day, when we're in an alliance war, those greens don't mean as much to me as getting 3 attacks in between times it takes people to take my garrison. And as long as it takes those level 25 guys enough time to where I can get 2 attacks in, I'm fine.
I actually hung on to Paladins longer than most last year. A reason. And people would always give me crap. They'd be like, man, your rating's like 1 million. What are you doing? Hey, man, I can kill one of their VP lands and close their garrison by the time I beat my Freya.
I used to hate the Paladins when I first started Legend League. King Josh, this is a shout out to you. I hate you. As soon as I go to this land, it starts burning. Alright. Now, because I am a free-to-play player, I do time everything around the Portal Stone refresh. So I have 100 Portal Stones I'm going to be using on this stream that I've been waiting to where I can zero out my Portal Stones before I use them. I spend money on this game. It's almost become a challenge, and I enjoy it. I enjoy that challenge. Now, I'm not the most competitive person in Legend League. I think the most I've ever hit is like 5 million in a season. Because I do focus heavily on leveling up my garrison and all my troops. But one of these seasons, I'm going to drop that pretense, and I'm going to break the 10 million mark. Let people know that there are free-to-play players that can come. That's my goal, at least.
Yeah, and I'll back you on the fact that, you know, you see all these obscene 20 million and so forth. Hey, man, 5 million in Legends League? That is hard.
Especially when you're consistently in a top 3 alliance. And they're just fighting back and forth. Yes, there's strategy to go through with it, and you know, I think in the alliance I'm in right now, I am consistently in about middle tier, and middle tier is fine with me because I'm beating people that are paying for the game, and I guess I'm still paying for it in a way, just with my time. Alright. Here we go. Now, for those of you who are watching that want to know best times to collect your event portal stones, when you zero out or your portal thing has just turned over and given you a portal stone. Now, I've been saving that specifically because my arenas just came off where I can raid with it, so we're going to have a little bit of detour where I go over to my Mamesh that I'm leveling. Level 40, I'm so close to getting that pivotal level 41. First F, welcome to the stream. So you guys in chat, are all of you planning on completing the event, or do you have specific goals on where you plan on going? Whether it's just a Siegfried, or do you have a relic that you really want to get? I tend to have a feeling that most people are just want to straight get Odin. And while he does look good, I want to put a reminder to everybody that Titans will come and go. Metas will come or will shift. But it is your relics that will remain the same. Aim to get those relics, and then you can even make terrible Titans into good ones, and good Titan ones. And when you happen to get that good roll or that on a Titan, you just became, as strong as some of the people in the meta.
Plus, it's a severed head.
Exactly. That severed head is mine.
I mean, honestly, I think it was Gungnir or the Raven, but that and the head synergized with the Paladin and Champion, 5-star relics so well.
I honestly...
They resist against range and resist against melee.
Looking at the relics and their relative power levels, when they were first released, I was convinced that the Berserker relic was the strongest relic of all. And as more Titans have been released, I'm really looking at the Champion relic as the premier one at the moment, just because of Siegfried. It gives the archers the beefiness to survive those spells in the background, while still giving them additional damage and protection against melee. Oh, I've been wanting this to show up for those that are wondering how to do this one without losing it too often, because I keep getting questions about this particular arena. This is a foolproof method that I use. I line up Panthers in rows of 4, put them to stand ground, throw everyone over there, and then my Titan over on the left. Now, it may not be the quickest of methods, but I never lose.
Yeah. With the 5-star relics, though, the whole relative power thing is really true. Though, well, prior to these relics anyways, there really were very few champions that could really get the most out of the Earthshaker. Same thing for the Paladin weapon. So, definitely it is the most powerful one now, but prior I would have went with the Ranger relic just because every Ranger can use it.
That's true. It just buffs everything. It makes
Plus
it
armor pierce.
Oh yeah, that's right. Now I'm actually happy to see that the Ranger meta is coming to a close. I enjoyed it while it lasted, but it's good for us to have a change. Now, what would you guys say the meta has actually switched to?
We were talking about this earlier on a few streams, and the most popular answers were archers in general, buff, spearmen, and militia with Siggy. Panthers are still relevant, just not dominant. And Imperials were starting to make a comeback due to the Krothos and Apoloses.
That's true.
And Grenadiers on defense.
Yeah, I mean, I'm happy to see that Grenadiers have some use again.
Yeah.
Drew, congratulations on getting Odin. And, Nick, I understand the Ranger meta really frustrated us all. I am looking forward to Siggy being a Titan that I can grind with, just because he's fun to play. I mean, it's nice to get back to the meta of having a champion go up there and just tank the crap out of stuff. And while the days of soloing are over, having that ability just your meat shield up front and deadly archers in the back makes the game fun again. At least to me. Alright. Now, if you guys had to currently put the 5-star relics in a priority list. If you had them, these are the ones that you would want. Where would you put them now?
Talking about on Titans or ranking?
Ranking in their power level, like against one another. And that, keep in mind, metas may change, and I'm just curious on where you guys would put it, since, I mean, you have a lot of experience in the game, and you know relic combinations better than 99% of the people that'll be playing this.
Do you mean best case scenarios or just general use?
We'll start with best case scenarios.
Earthshaker. Or the Paladin Relic.
Why? What is it about those relics that really stand out to you?
Well, for one, I'm just going to say this flat out. The second and third skill on, I believe it's all the self-buffing Titans, and I believe the Ranger are exactly the same. Comes down to that first skill and the Titans that can use it. But with the Earthshaker, the resist against melee from the Mimir's head is essentially a flat, like, it's basically a free skill added to the Titan that can stack with Earthshaker. Same thing for the Gungnir with the Paladin Relic.
Jeez.
In particular, is that Earthshaker can be combined with two different X-Titans, and you can either get 48% resist Goliaths with X defensive or offensive skills, as well as that with Spearmen or Militia on Siggy. With the Paladin Relic, the way they've been re-releasing the Paladins with X means you can essentially get super tanky, say, Panthers that are resistant against range, stack a ton of, offensive relics on it, a mount armor or two, and now a Ranger can't kill your Panthers. Or you could do that with Grenadiers if they Abazut, etc., etc.
Well, I, for one, am looking forward to when we can get 5-star relics again. Now, I do have 750 Divine Gems saved up, so I could do a random pull. But I pulled 2 guaranteed 5 stars when I did it. And I'm one that, when it comes to that random luck stuff, I'm no good at it. But when I find it, I run with it, such as my forging method. So I'm certain that if I would have tried to just pull all random for with my Divine Gems, I would have gotten just all 4-star relics. Probably all 4-star flame volleys.
Yeah. I got Night Whisperer from the guarantee, and then I did just the 500 gun Iron Mace or whatever. And Titan crit for physical.
I really hope that infiltrators maybe don't dominate the meta, but make a bigger mark than even what they're doing now. Because I've never seen a time when infiltrators have been great except for in lower leagues.
I think the key issue with the infiltrators is, there's not a lot of relics prior to the Odin event that could buff an infiltrator, but also buff the troops. I want it to be buffed anyways, because, of course, you could put on, a Morbid Cloak and get health and poison resist, but the Panther health isn't gonna, make the Panthers viable to run alongside it. Then if you were trying to stack a bunch of poison resist relics to the point of having immunity, then it's just overkill, and now your infiltrator's not as effective as it could be.
It's true. Real quick, Josh, welcome to the stream. Godan. I have Vintage and Riohand in here with me.
Hey, Godan.
You're welcome to join us in Discord. We are currently in... Is this Bo's channel?
Yep.
Yeah, it is. We're in Boganor's channel. And if he gives you crap for joining this, you can tell him to come talk to me.
But Godan's already a member of the channel.
Oh. Fair enough.
If anything, I was worried I'd get yelled at. I have no idea how, but I keep ending up in all the private chat rooms. For some reason, I've been on the YouTube chat room with all of them for, months, and then they don't even know I'm there. Weird.
Alright. Well, I can tell you now that as a YouTuber, it is nice to have other people to pass ideas back and forth with on stream, because eventually, after about an hour and a half of hearing your own voice, starting to go a little crazy. I've had a few of those streams that are recorded here where conversation in chat has completely devolved into caveman style. Those are fun streams, but not exactly productive. All right. Now, whenever I use one of these 100 portal stones, I always start worrying that my wife is going to come in and say, hey, I need you to do this, this, and this, and then it's going to be like 3 hours before I get back, and I'm like, I could have charged up a whole 28 portal stones in that time.
Yeah. What I like to do is I wait until I find a mini that I know is extremely active, pull a bunch of relics and non-stop, just burn through the portal stones in a matter of minutes. That way I can get the relics without getting server errors and then easy battles.
That's a good plan. Cooter?
Yeah, he's got a good question.
Ken, to describe how to get to into the event free. Yes. Now, as a free-to-play player in Legend, I can easily say I can complete half of all of the events without spending a dime. Now, the way I do that is different, and I'll go ahead and give you guys an idea. I choose which events that I am actually going to be completing, but I compete in every event. For example, in this event, if I were to say I'm not going to finish, but I want to get the most value out of this possible, I would grind out over the course of 5 days all the way to the Storm Token. Now, that may cost a few portal stones here and there, but over 5 days, I'm going to be able to lock in 4 Storm Tokens. Maybe get the cost of gems completed with the 300 gems and the 700 gems, and then I could even use the portal stones to get there. And whatever portal stones I do not collect, I'm holding on to them until the next event. So at the start of the next event, I'm going to have 200 additional portal stones, which is the equivalent of about, what is that, 1,800, no, not 1,800 gems, about 1,200 gems. And so I maximize the use of each item that I can get out of every event. Now, I would normally only be able to complete 5 out of every 11 events if that was the case. But, as a free-to-play player, I save up those tokens. And this is the result that I have. On those weekends where I don't have the time to grind, I have 30 relics saved up that I could use for the event. Now, I do have a specific way that I use these relics to make sure that I keep the grind on. Now, grinding takes a lot of time, and to be honest with you, it would not be worth it if it was just to get the relics from the event. What makes grinding worth it for free-to-play, and what gives you an advantage over pay-to-play players, is the fact that you get a ton of relic drops during the course of the events. This is where I get all my relic food to level up my relics. And I often get 4 stars dropped. So I'm going to go over my relics with you guys now so you can see. Titan XP also. You're going to get a ton of Titans that drop during the course of the events. I often have to burn or fuse 100 to 200 Titans just to make sure that I stay at max capacity and I don't have a ton more. But these are the relics that I picked up over the course of my time in the game, and most of them, I mean, I do have a lot of event relics in here, but I have a good deal of ones that dropped during the course of grinding. So you see my Bow of Kings, you'll see a lot of level 10s here because my forging method. I was really excited when Dragon Helm started to drop for me until Paladins and Champions really left the meta. Now they're pretty garbage.
Yep.
But I go through here, you're going to see, I have a specific method in which I use to identify which relics I'm going to be upgrading next. Got a bunch of flame volleys here, frost bows, frost shields, lots of level 10s. Giant axes, and gilded arcs. I've got way too many of these. 3, 6, 9. Got a bunch of Great Plagues. I was lucky enough to get one of the Great Plagues that buffs Panthers. Yeah, relic drops are huge. And so, thanks for that comment, Jamie. While there will come a time when I start forging 4-star relics, my thought process for a whole year of playing this game is I never want to forge a 4-star relic because meta may shift, and then that I may have a relic that I need at that point. And here are my orbs here, and you guys can tell that I've been concentrating on leveling them up. I have all but one orb at level 10. And I have a duplicate of the Orb of Death, so that's still on my priority list. And for those of you old school players, there's the Mighty Protector. That was one of my first 4-star drops I got in a battle. And while it's way outdated now, I still like the fact that with these upcoming relics, I can now stack Titan resist against melee.
Odd question.
What's that?
Do you know if the melee and the range resist, they stack with the resist against all damage from the Dragon Slayer, or if they're counted as separate rolls?
I believe they are counted as separate rolls.
Okay, because I was going to say, if you could stack those, you might actually be able to make an immune Titan.
Yeah. That's why, going back just a few videos ago, I made a video on Valkyrie. And that Guardian Titan relic stacks with her ability. So when she's level 20 and she's maxed out her first ability, she's got 56% resist against everything. And I'll show you guys this on stream. If you get the right relics on her, I honestly think she is going to be one of the strongest defender, or right abilities on her. She will be one of the strongest defenders in the game, late game.
Yeah.
And that's because she's basically going to be a Freya of old, combined with a bunch of spearmen that are so incredibly sticky that they're going to be impossible to kill. They're not going to kill anything, but they're just going to roam around, and they're going to be, because you have a bunch of orbs thrown on to max out resist, you're going to have like 70% resist to everything on all of your spearmen, and a ton of health, and a Titan that just won't die.
Nobody ever expects the Spearman Inquisition.
Oh, man. Yeah, but anyway.
They seriously don't.
I'll show you guys this. I mean, my Valkyrie did not come out with the rolls that I wanted, but she will be something I level up, unless this Valkyrie in this event's better. Alright. See, I got the Spearman damage and Spearman armor piercing. And I got my Grenadier armor there.
I think I actually got like almost the same roll.
Well, great minds think alike. Alright, so you guys see the 5-star relic equipped to her, the Dragon Slayer. I got it level 10 here. So at level 1, this Titan has 46% resist to everything. I was commenting that depending on how they play Guardians in the future, this relic, I think, has the potential to be one of the biggest game changers. I don't know exactly what type of abilities that they would need to drop on a Guardian, but I guarantee this relic has the potential to be game breaking if they don't watch themselves.
Well, that's why I was asking about the melee and the ranged resist, because if that does stack, that would be a broken Titan.
You know what? I think I'll have to check on it. It seems like it should stack. Because, I mean, I honestly didn't know if it would stack with her level, her first ability. But since it stacks with this ability, Titan resist against all damage, it seems like it should.
Yeah.
So, if you are right, we're going to come back to this stream at some point. I'm just going to call that out.
Yeah. Also, You want to hear what my Solgar is? Because he has the stickiest spearman.
Yes. By the way, I faced Solgars, level 25 Solgars for their spearmen, and I hate them. I mean, I would rather face a Skolinar than a Skolgar with spearmen, because,
My Solgar did. Spearmen resist against Titans, resist against physical, armor, ice res, and poison res.
Jeez.
My spearmen, when the last relic is done being upgraded, are going to have 126 armor, 40% armor pierce, 33% crit, and they're going to have physical damage immunity, poison damage immunity, ice damage immunity, and 72% fire res.
Jeez. Remind me never to attack you, ever.
The Spearman Inquisition. Everyone thought it was a joke, but then when I got my Solgar, I was like, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna make this Solgar great.
Well, I honestly think that if they haven't already, it's a very short amount of time where I think Spearmen will overtake Goliaths as the beefy unit of choice.
I honestly think they already have. Just with all the X skills running around.
It's true. I'm happy they're seeing the light of day, but it makes me a little bit sad because they're one of the units that I've left behind in my upgrading.
Yeah.
Because, I'm constantly upgrading, and I can only upgrade 4.5 units per level before the next level comes up, and I've got to start concentrating on that. I hate it when the lands move.
Yeah. I'm just a dirty completionist. I max all my farms, my mines, everything before I start the castle upgrade, except for one research.
Well, I guess if I were to do that, I'd probably be 1 or 2 castle levels behind where I'm at now.
Yeah. I mean, I don't want to rush to the end. From what I understand, it's boring.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest with you, shout out to the brain. I was sad to see that one of the original beta players is giving up the game. But
yeah.
I was surprised he lasted as long as he did, because his videos, I'm like, what does he really have to shoot for? Everything's level. I mean, he just levels up Titans from 1 to 60, and that's all that he really needs to do.
And I mean, unless you're playing super competitively in a Legend League like Chef, Base God, and a bunch of the log players and stuff, there's really not much to do once you get to the end.
That's true. But maybe that's why they make those last few levels impossible to level up.
Like, honestly, I'm castle level 18, probably about 2 weeks away from being done with castle level 18. And I don't plan to get to 20 until, like, the end of the year, honestly. I'm just running at that lax. Especially with anchoring coming, that's going to slow down everything even more.
I agree with that. What were your thoughts on anchoring when it hit?
Well, I didn't get to experience it outside of Throne Wars, but I think it's an interesting feature. However, it's going to primarily give an advantage to pay-to-win players.
And that was what my thought process were. Jamie, I hear you. I hear you, man. Spearman over Goliath defense. It is where it's at now.
Not to mention, like, the amount of area they cover.
Yeah, their hitboxes are just annoying.
Yeah. But, like, a way they could possibly balance the anchors a bit is maybe make a maximum number of anchors you can have at a time and tie it into a structure upgrade. Like with your castle level. So, like, if your castle level, let's just say castle level 15, you can have a maximum 5 lands anchored. Something like that, but I mean, there's going to be people who just drop $20 on gems day 1 of a season, mass capture, you have them instantly locked down, and then they're just going to sit on them for like 3 or 4 days and then repeat halfway through the season, assuming they haven't won already.
Well, there's always been strategies that people abuse, but when they start stacking on one another, that's where it gets really irritating.
Yeah.
Now, I am at the point with non-toxic where I may start looking at going to head up leadership in lower leagues at some point.
I mean, Warlocks is looking for people who want to help get that alliance up and running, and if you wanted to try it out in NT Knights, they'd probably take you. They're doing great. Talladega is just amazing.
And I think I have some decent level troops in the donation department. But I'm middle tier because in non-toxic now we got a lot of good players that are willing to spend money to push the alliance to the next level. And, to be frank, this week I had a lot of commitments earlier on in the week, and I felt like I was a drain on my alliance.
Yeah.
And while I will hit my 3, 4, 5 million that I normally hit, when they're pushing for $1 million a day during the first part of the week, I was working 14 hours on Monday. There's no way I could put in that type. And if that's going to be something they consistently push for, I don't want to be the guy that holds them down.
Well, you could try moving to Rogue. They are a bit more lax with their VP minimum.
And I don't think I have any issues with that. I guess I would need to talk it over with some of the leadership.
Yeah.
But yeah,
well, that's one of the great things about non-toxic. There's a place for everybody who, well, provided we have enough room, because all the organization is by a volunteer basis. But aside from that, there's room for people to play whoever they want.
That is true. It's one of the reasons I joined. I was back. APOC was the original one that actually recruited me back in the day. That takes me back. This was back when Zalan was just starting the game as well. No one knew what a YouTuber was in this game before, or back then, except for the Brain, who would have the consistent no talking videos come out with awesome music.
Yeah. I haven't even
remember
playing
APOC
for
running
you.
around with his Korea.
Oh my goodness, I remember that. When Bree started doing that, I'm like, that Berserker's pretty bad. I wonder if he knows that.
Yeah. I'm still green around the ears, man. I've only been playing for a few weeks short of a year, actually, now. It started late last June.
Let's see. June. I mean, you're only 4 months behind some of us guys who were at launch. I missed the Drakor event by a few days. So my first event was the second event in the game.
Yeah. I started during the Fire and Ice event, was my first, with the pigs.
Ah.
Though I didn't get to take part in it because I was... regret that, because that was apparently one of, the most entertaining events.
Wow.
Yeah.
Looking back on it, there's some events have been better than others. I want to go ahead and let everyone who's watching know right now that, please, anytime that you guys don't rely on reinforcements, use them as much as you possibly can, because it's free gems to people on your team when you request. So
I'll be honest, I forget they exist.
Now, there's not very many gems, granted, but anytime that Natural Motion gives something free out, it should be noted and, logged.
Yeah.
So what I normally do is, during the times when I can request reinforcements, I'll just put a message out there that says troop dump. And especially during events, it's helpful because halfway through tomorrow, I'm going to have to sit and start using archers and spearmen and militia to attack. Okay, I'm not even going to risk it going against the Natalis at this level. Mainly because
I love Natalis. I've been playing with my Throne Wars one, and I got lucky with the rolls, and it's just great. Especially after the time reduction.
That's true. I've got a level 60 Italis, level 60. I think I have 4 level 60s right now.
Nice.
Solzar, Italis, Venom Tusk, and Skolnar. I got a few in the 50s, and the 2 Titans I am heavily working on right now are my Mamesh and my Metano that just dropped for me. I think I got.
only have 160.
Oh, which one? Which Titan is that?
Solgar.
Dude, honestly, it's amazing. That Titan is awesome.
I actually got
I just got the worst case Odin. Archer health, Archer armor.
Oh my gosh.
At least he'll be usable when the lightning troops come out with just using them.
You should troll the community. Start making videos with archers as your meat shield.
I'll trade you my Valkyrie with only defensive skills on the and health and damage on Spearman. I'll trade.
Freed's terrible too.
Tell you what, I'll grease the wheels. I'll trade you my Wukong that has offensive Goliath skills and offensive archer skills. He's a berserker.
He's the original Grolgar.
Honestly, I'm waiting for Goliath to get buffed, because then I'm going to put that Mimir head on him, then I'm going to put the Earthshaker, and I'm going to make him good.
And I'm going to make a video of me attacking that land that he's defending and just crushing it.
Oh no, I'm not putting him on defense. I know that'll go badly. I was going to put him on defense. I'd just stack a bunch of archer relics on him and just let the archers just shred everything. I want to use Goliaths on offense just to prove it, just to find a use for them, because it just seems like such a waste.
It's true. Oh, then you guys will be interested in the next edition of my Castle Crusher series. I have done all of my level 60 Titans, including Siegfried, except my Skolnar. My next series is going to be Skolnar trying to go up against high-level castles and lands.
If you want a good Skolnar, ask Quick to show you his, because his is possibly the best Skolnar I've ever seen. I'm not saying it's skills or anything like that, because he does not want people to know.
Fair enough. I honestly think that on the traditional Titans of old, the worst skills that you can pick up are armor and health now. You just want to max out as many resists as you can, because those armor and health skills aren't the X skills that the newer Titans get.
The armor and health armor's definitely bad unless you get 3 of them. But health, I really wouldn't consider a complete loss, because it's always relevant. It's lackluster, but it's not a failing skill like lightning resist used to be.
Yeah. I guess I would take it over a double skill, or
It's like a B-.
Or an armor.
Yeah, armor's like a C-.
Now, what do you guys think of Titan resist skills on troops when those Titan resist skills don't actually max out the Titan resist? So
Titan resist is kind of pointless, honestly, at this point. It's a big deal when you're I'd probably say Castle 20 and lower, just because of the Rangers and everything, and maybe change that. I don't think so, but it would mainly just be lightning resist that would change it. But with that whole thing, it's after a certain while, the amount of DPS that, say, an Imperial can put out is going to be higher than any Infiltrator. The amount of damage that archers, or 2 archers, or 3, it's just strength in numbers. After a certain point in the game, Titans troops, just because of sheer numbers and stats.
It's true. It's why those...
I feel like they're going away, especially on these the traditional Guardian skills. That's kind of a shame. For my Matano, I have 5 unique Panther resist against it's awesome. I mean, I have 90% resist against every single element.
Jeez.
I have 18 paladins running around that have high armor piercing and health.
Yep.
It's insane.
18. Oh, yeah, okay.
I wish with all these like re-releases of Titans, like they did with Krothos and stuff, that they were limited run and that they didn't replace them in the pool permanently.
Sort of like the champion, the Eldarg?
Yeah, because, like, I mean, like, well, not... That's just a unicorn, okay? Never happened. But in regards to, like, look at Avalos. Like, yes, new Avalos, it's a safe bet. It's never going to be a bad Titan. But you had the potential to get so many better combinations with a regular Avalos. And now there is no way to get resistances on Imperials like that in the game for new players.
Yeah.
Sure, you get 2 resistances on a Edelus, but it's, realistically speaking, without nerfing them offensively, impossible to get like more than 3 or 4 resistances pretty high, not even maxed.
Now here's a question. The meta naturally shifts for new players to veteran players from champion, paladin type units to guardian, berserker type units as the game goes further. But we are also seeing the release of relics that are pushing things in that direction. Now, with the advent of the push of these troops, the next meta down the road, do you guys think that spells have a chance of hugely impacting it? Or is this little Calvarex deal the unicorn deal? Does that make sense?
Yeah. I feel like, well, this happened with the skeleton spells where they had to rework the spell because, remember, everyone was complaining they had no, what's their hit points, etc., what are the stats? And that's one of the issues with the spells currently is, well, the poison spell has no armor pierce. How much pierce does the fireball spell have? Lightning spell, like consistency. How much does the damage spread evenly through the bolts? Like, they're not very well fleshed out as opposed to we're just dropping this elemental damage right here, that's it. And if they rework the spells, then it would be a lot easier to find ways to boost them, such as, say, if we knew what the damage per second and stuff like that is on a fireball, now you can make a Titan have a skill that makes them have armor pierce. So now it's not completely useless against, like, Goliaths. Or now it has a bigger radius, or stuff like that, so it's really, they just need to flesh out the spells better, and then they can start building with them.
It's true. I mean, I got to tell you, what would you guys say are the most impactful spells in the current meta? And I know that current meta hasn't fully been explored yet, but for the most part, it's starting to settle.
I really can't tell you because I don't really use spells except for Rage and Freeze. That really didn't change.
I'm hearing good things about the shield spell. And seeing it actually in battle, in defense, it provides certain units an extra 1 or 2 shots before they die. And I think that's impactful, but I'm still trying to decide what. And you know, this question's for chat as well. If you guys know some good spell combinations, type it in and let us know why.
I mean, if you want to hear a spell combination, this is more so just theory crafting here as opposed to actually tested. But some of the new relics in the Pantheon, as you well know, give spell abilities. Say you get access to those at an earlier rank, I could see like the shield spell relic catching on because I believe it's Titan, health, and armor and a shield spell. A newer player champions can get a ton of use out of that, as would somebody who gets the Goliath relic, which is, I believe it's armor for all troops, earth damage for a Titan, and a rage spell. So, like, some of those early game relics with the spells could actually shift the meta, if the players can get a hold of them.
Okay. I can see that happening.
There's also a free spell ring that gives health to all your troops and ice damage to your Titan.
I'm still not sold on any relic that gives spells. I would much rather...
I'm sold on the rage one.
You're sold on
the
rage one?
The only thing is it's on Goliaths.
The extra rage spells. I mean, Rage, especially in later on in the game, is the best spell.
Yeah.
You just can't compete with, Panthers that are already freaking strong. Throwing a Rage spell on them and just they mow over everything. Doesn't matter what their defense is.
Plus, you got Imperials with poison resist.
That's true.
But the Rage spell, the only Titan, there's essentially only, I'd say, 2 Titans in the game that could really get a lot of use out of the Rage spell relic that are actually Earth Titans. And that would be Yard Dog, regular or not, just because Ranger with a free Rage spell every battle. And the damage boost. And the other is actually Wukong, just because you could Rage your archers for free every battle.
Okay. Alright. Now, do you really need that many Rage spells, though?
No, but having the extra free Rage spell with you and being able to carry an extra Fear spell while soloing with all archers could be handy.
Alright. Okay, I can get behind that theory crafting. I truly can. So I appreciate that explanation there.
It's a free Rage spell. It's never going to be useless.
No.
Free poison spell definitely would be useless.
As I evaluate relics, though, I always think which relics are actually going to give me the best chance to stall out a defense or win a defense. Now, winning a defense is something to shoot for, but not something to get mad about if you lose, because you're going to lose all the time.
Yep. Also, Mucus, the Infiltrator with the Rage spell, I haven't gotten the Goliath relic yet, so I can't that. But to my knowledge, if it is a Earth Titan only relic, there's no Earth Infiltrator in the game that would be able to take advantage of it. The only thing close to that would be Grolgar. And that's after rework, and he only has 1 tier 3 offensive skill.
Wow. Nick, I appreciate the comment there. Raised Dead against archers and Eunax is actually very viable. I'm one that likes to fight against the meta or find a way to beat it, but to be honest with you, Calvarax right now he's too fun to watch play and to actually play when you're using the right relics. It's just you're playing a mini game of Dawn of Titans that no one else gets to play.
The only thing that really stops him is just tanky units with ice and physical resist. That's really the only thing. Which my Solgar has. Haha.
Mucus,
but Odin's going to wreck it.
What we're talking about now is, in the current meta, what's the best combination of spells for both attack and defense? We've discussed a little bit about how Rage is incredibly powerful in-game right now. But if you have some comments on this, as well as the best defensive spells that you like to use, let us know and give some reasoning behind it. And, that's one thing about these streams that's so good, because when you're playing this game and it's just you playing, the only experience you get is basically which garrisons are crushing you when you're attacking them, or if you're having success with your own defenses. I want to know why, because I want to make sure that I'm not going to attack a level 60 with a 21.
A feature that would really help players with their defenses is if, literally your attack log just had the portrait of whatever Titan. The same portrait that's on the garrison, just from whatever Titan they use. Just put the portrait there.
I have found that of all of my Titans that I currently use, the best one to take out the high-level garrisons, those Metanos with 90% resist to everything, is my Siggy. My Siggy rips into everything that he touches. And, it doesn't matter how much defense they have. Those archers are just ridiculous. Of course, I do have maxed relics for him across the board. And he's leveled 57.
I've never had a garrison I couldn't beat with Siggy. And that was a lot of high-level war garrison raids. Never let me down.
I like Siggy so much that even though I think he's not quite game-breaking, but he's dang close.
I feel like
I don't want to see him nerfed. I don't want to see anything about him nerfed because physical Titans for so long were just garbage. Period.
That's why the X skill percentages are, in general, are so high, if I'm recalling correctly. The first two X skill Titans were Siggy and Mamesh. I don't remember which one came first, but Siggy's percentages kind of set the bar on how, like, because, yeah, I get the Grenadiers have really high attack and Pierce and everything on them, Mamesh, so does their health. But the fact that you can get, like, I believe it's for the health, it gets close to 200% on a Spearman, for God's sake. And that's why their stats are so high. They're compensating because they know so many players have the physical res relics. If they can't take them out of circulation, you have to make them do less.
Real quick, Mucus,
Right.
Rage and Freeze. I can get behind that on attack. Freeze has always been in the meta on attack, which I can appreciate, even though it doesn't do any damage anymore. And time frames have been nerfed. That thing is still phenomenal. But go ahead, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, I was just going to follow up on Siggy with and confirm with the militia health X skill on Siggy, it's not hard to get your militia with over 200k health. And that's per unit. I mean, so if you throw 5 of them out there, that's 1,000,000 hit points that has to be chewed through. Meanwhile, your archers are just raking everything.
Jeez. You guys make me feel bad that my militia are still level 14. But, yeah, I got great skills on my Siggy. I don't have the levels that I need on the right troops. But I'm glad that other people feel the same way about that Titan. I mean, his gameplay is unique as well. Because before him, I mean, you would have to have the perfect roll on, some of those Berserker Titans that buff archers, or Toland that buffed archers, before you would even use him. Let's see.
Yeah, I've had real bad luck with the old school Norse type Titans, like the Solgar and so forth. Man, I cannot get good skill rolls on those.
Yeah. People look at my Titan Hall as a free-to-play player and they're impressed. What they don't understand is about 85% of those Titans are garbage. I save Titans because as a free-to-play player, it is very important to me that I have one unique Titan of each that I can get, specifically for events like this. When everyone else is, worried about 1.2 buff or boost, I still have the 1.4 boost, which makes a difference. So
I'm gonna have to go, guys. I already stayed an hour more than I probably should have.
Thanks for Thanks for joining us on the stream,
probably
guys.
see more of me in the future, Shooter. It's just I have a test I gotta take in like a few hours.
Hey,
That's gonna last 10 hours. Actually, in an hour it would have been 12 hours since I sat down and started watching streams. So almost 12 hours.
guys,
I could have been spent studying.
I appreciate your presence here. It's made the stream a little bit better for everyone that's watching, and you guys are always welcome to stop by.
Yeah, I'm regularly able to stay up this late. Most of the time, just probably need to sleep if I have a test.
Well, then, you guys enjoy your evening, get a good night's rest, and support the other streamers tomorrow as you can, because this 24-hour live stream is still going to be going for another 10 hours or so.
All right, cheers, fellas.
Cheers. All right. Everyone left in chat. Now it is just the king of late night and you guys. Welcome. With the loss of Discord guys here, I'm going to go ahead and turn on some music that we can listen to while we play. And if you don't like it, tough luck. I'm the king, baby. Nah, this music I picked up from Pretzel because there's no royalties on it. and I can have it just in my stream at any time. And this makes it to where you guys don't have to listen to me the entire time. You can just enjoy your grind, listen to a little music, and the soft sound of my Barry Manilow voice for the rest of the evening. And for those of you who joined after I started my stream, I refer to my channel as the Kingdom. And it's the Kingdom because it's the kingdom of free-to-play. I'm a free-to-play player in Legend League, and been here basically my whole time playing the game, and I've been playing the game for about a year and a half. Currently level 22, and my stream specializes in finding unique ways to save money on this game while still maximizing your potential. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask. Now with other people out of chat, I have a little bit more of a chance to make sure I don't miss any comments that are made in chat moving forward. And those of you who just joined the stream, at some point you may want to go back and watch the beginning of it, because I do explain my relic forging process. I found it to be pretty effective for me, and I also showed it on stream tonight as well. It's actually how I started everything off. Now, I know my stream is actually going to still be going for another 25-30 minutes. After that, Gaming Jaeger is going to take over. I want to thank you guys all for joining the stream to support this 24-hour stream for Odin. But since I got you all on here, let me go into some thoughts on relic priority to upgrade first. If you guys have some ideas on it yourself, on what's working for you, why it's working for you, let me know. I'll share with you my thoughts and strategies, and hopefully between all of us together we'll come up with something more effective that we all can learn from. How I use my gems during the event. I will never use gems to buy relics, the boosting relics. The only way I get boosting relics is through saving them up from previous events. As you guys can see here, I got 30 of them saved up. I have allotted myself 15 for the use in this event. Simply because I want to make sure that I finish it. A lot of events I can finish from beginning to end without the use of any of those relics. I just save those relics for when there's an event that I won't have the time to really grind through. And normally when I'm off stream, I understand we all have lives that we work through. While I'm grinding, I am one of those guys that does the auto attack grind while I'm working on things like, my side business that I'm running outside of my regular work. This is just a great way to keep my mind occupied and don't go crazy as I'm running the numbers for my business. Now, one thing I always do with my gems to make sure I maximize my portal stone efficiency is I'm never going to hit the recharge button, because that stops my portal stone refresh. I'll always buy 20 at a time. Yeah, I buy stones with my gems. That's the only thing that I use my gems for. I don't use it to upgrade buildings, repair troops, or anything like that. It is all about buying portal stones. Because the more raids you get, the more relic drops you get. The more relic drops you get, the more relics that you can forge up from 1 to 10. Hey, that's the right way to do it, Nick. When you're deciding which relics to use, base them around whatever Titan that you want to get to level 60. Just so when they get to level 60, you can move on to a different set of relics, and that Titan will be useful to you from here to the end of time. Now, before you get to that point, relic upgrading priority that I normally follow is as follows. The first relics you need to level up in this game are the troop buffing relics. If you're using Panthers, it's the Bitter Dirks and it's the Mounted Armors. The reason for that is they are going to give you the best opportunity to speed raid during events. And that's why I'm using them on Calvarax here. Calvarax is literally doing nothing in these battles. It's all about the Panthers. But these relics, what makes them unique is that they can be equipped across all Titan types. And so even if I don't have a relic that buffs my Titans, these relics that buff the troops are going to be universally good for me to upgrade first. Now, after I buff those, I'll maybe get a set, just one buffing relic and one defensive relic for Panthers, and then also Spearmen. Not Spearmen, but Imperials. That way I have the gambit covered during the course of events, and I can speed raid to my heart's content. Another huge important buff that happened recently for free-to-play players comes in the form of the fact that you can skip the victory screen now. When you skip the victory screen and you do it consistently, you're shaving off 4 to 5 seconds off of each raid that you're doing. Before, I would really struggle to put in, 4,000 points during the course of a day. That's really hard to do. Now, it's not that hard. Because, I'm doing 100 battles, I'm saving 5 seconds per battle. I mean, that's, 500 seconds right there. Which means I can just do more raiding during the same amount of time that I used to do before. Another benefit of raiding like this is when you're in Legend League, you stack up victory points fairly dang quickly. You do 100 battles where you're getting 2,000 victory points apiece. That's 200,000 victory points off of that alone. You do 300 battles during the course of a day. I mean, that's 600,000 victory points that you picked up that day, and you never had to raid the level 25 garrisons. And you can do that with a level 20 Calvarax with a bunch of buff Panthers. So, once you're done upgrading the troop relics, at that point, you're going to want to start not necessarily building sets of relics for specific Titans, but you want to get one upgraded relic for attack for each elemental type. That way, when you hit level 30 with your Titans and your raiding, you now have a relic that's going to boost your Titans damage as well as your troops damages. And as you do that, it just makes the speed rating that much more efficient. It allows you to get to the relics and the Titans within the events more quickly. Now, once you have each of those one relics upgraded, then you start building out your defensive relics and specific relics for your Titans that are up and coming. And you'll have plenty of time to do that. The relics I'm working on now are specifically for my Mamesh and my Matano that I'm doing. So I'm upgrading a bunch of Panther relics now. Mamesh and Matano are both in their 40s, and I should have all of the relics they need maxed out at level 60 probably by the end of next week. So I'm pretty excited about that. Now, if you guys have any other strategies that you guys live and die by, let me know. This is just what I found works for me, but it's not an infallible strategy. I'm sure there are better ones out there. I just want to hear about them. One of the reasons that I started... Oh, and for those of you new to my channel, there is a few playlists that you guys should look at. The most important playlist that I would recommend to anyone is the free-to-play series, where I cover 10 tips that helps you save money in Legend League. Thank you, Mucus. I like to think that it's well thought out, but we'll see. I mean, I do prioritize relics over just about everything else. But yeah, check out the free-to-play series. It's a series of 3 different videos where I cover 10 tips on just how to survive and thrive in Legend League without spending a dime. I'm curious, Mucus, what level are you in this game? And are you resident in Legend League, or a league that is, or alliance that's planning to get into Legend League at some point? Sometimes it feels like that. I mean, while you will never truly be able to take out the pay-to-play players, my tips will allow you to at least hold your own. And to give you a little bit of idea of, you know, where I come from with that, once again, I've been in Legend League for about 1.5 years, nearly since the beginning of the game. Castle level 20, congratulations. There is a big jump that happens when you hit castle level 19. Because you no longer look like a low-level castle to everyone else in Legend. And I have been thinking about switching over to Rogue Squad, Mucus, currently over in non-toxic. Alright. Now, I am also working on another series that I have entitled Castle Crushers. Now, I don't always have the best strategies, but the whole purpose of the series is to start to give people ideas on the strength of individual titans whenever they're maxed out, whenever they're attacking lands as well as attacking garrisons. And so I rate each titan according to 3 factors. One is the speed at which they can raid. 2 is the damage that they actually take, them and their troops take during the course of the raid. And then 3 is how often they actually win. Yeah, NT is, in my opinion, the best group that this game has. And it's just because it's a laid-back feeling. You can push as hard as you like and just be around other people that just, you know, to put it simply, are not toxic. Alright, well, it looks like I've got Abacadabra. It's Josh's Mini. Alright. Thank you, Josh. This is going to make this grind a little bit better. Shout out to you, man. I always enjoy having you on the streams, especially last time as I was attacking for Solzar and your defense crushed me. Let's see. Level 25 max player, couple human troops and spells, left free to play, recent master, been playing 2.5 years. Alright, congratulations, guys. I'm glad to see there's other people just as crazy as me out there. 2.5 years put you... Wait a second. How long has this game been out now? So beginning of 2016, I think I joined. No, it wasn't. the beginning? No, it was the end of 2016. Global launch was at the end of 2016. So you are a beta player. Is that right, Nick? If I'm dead wrong, I blame it on the fact that it is the late hour. Alright. Congrats. The beta players that are still around are few and far between, man. You guys are a dying breed. I was sad to hear the brain dropping the game. I will say there was some resentment I had towards you guys when I first started playing the game. Because in Legend League as a level 14 castle, having level 25 castles just rip you apart, I was like, what is this? But then I understood that if I can't handle the heat, I gotta get out of the kitchen. And that's what I enjoy about Legend League, is the fact that, you know, you don't have to be there if you don't want to. But if you want to learn the best strategy, best skills, you're not going to find a better place to learn it. That is good to hear, Nick. Alright. So far in this event, let's check how far along I am. I am sitting at 3,000 souls, and I've used roughly, what's that, 1,200 gems. 1,200 of my stored up gems to get to this point. Now, there will be many more used before the end of this game, or end of this event, but I'm on a fairly healthy schedule. Man, back in the day, having those champion titans was just the best feeling in the world. Whether it's Durat or, any of them. I was lucky enough back in the day that I will say that I cheated. I did the cheating method to get my first 4-star Titan, where I would jump Legend Leagues to find a dying server and just join the top league. That's how I got my first 4-star. I'm sure you guys remember that day. Let's see. Alright. Let's see if Josh has opened his mini up again. Josh, I'm not going to stick around your mini any longer, just because it looks like there's plenty of non-toxic players that are camping it pretty heavily. I appreciate what you do for us, man. Alright, here we got somebody. Now, if you guys have ideas on what you'd like to see as content, put it down in the chat. Put it down as comments. I'm always looking for new ideas on how I can help improve the whole community experience that we have here. Now, my channel has nothing to do with ads or anything like that. This is just for the community. I like creating content. I don't think I'm ever going to get to the point where I'm looking to get paid off of this. But I do enjoy what I do over here. Alright, here we go. Now, Mucus and Nick, are you guys planning on finishing the event? Or do you have specific goals within it? Cooter as well. I think we're still in here. Jaeger, welcome, man. It's good to have you on, man. I was worried if you'd be able to get up this early. Are you prepared for your marathon stream? We got a good group here, Jaeger. You're going to enjoy him. Nick, Kudo, or Mucus are pretty heavily active. And if you'd like, I can stick around for a little bit and we can have some chats in Discord while you start off your stream and you work the bugs out. No problem, man. Now, I'm currently in Discord on Boganora's channel. If you'd like, you can hop in there and post a link to your channel that I can copy and paste into chat. I want to make sure I send people directly to the live stream part as opposed to just the front end of your channel. Make this transfer over seamless. Gaming Jaeger, for those of you who are still in here, all 15 of you dedicated Dawn of Titans players, is going to be picking up for the live stream and is going to have the longest marathon stream that we have during this. So go out there, support him as much as you can because, you know, he is one of the guys that really put this thing together and is basically one of the guys that us other YouTubers in the non-toxic community look up to. So support him on his channel. Until he gets it up and running, you guys are welcome to stay around with me because, like the rest of you, I have a lot of grinding to do. I'm trying to get to at least, 4,500 tonight before I call it quits. Jaeger, he is a beast. He's going where no other YouTuber has gone before for Dawn of Titans. The marathon stream. That's my thoughts as well, Mucus. The streamers that we have here, they make these grinds just a little bit more bearable. I know before I started watching these streams from other YouTubers, it was hard to grind through some of the, hit all these lands at the same time. Because you start to feel like a little bit of an idiot when you're the only one doing it. But when you realize that there's power in numbers, everybody works better. During each of one of these 24-hour streams that we've had, it's always felt like a relay race. Just as you start to get tired out as a streamer, you hand the baton on to someone who's fresh-faced. Hey, no problem, man. Nick, thank you so much for joining us today. And just a reminder, when you get a chance, you support those other streamers that are doing this today and tomorrow. This is what makes the non-toxic community great, is we provide content for everybody. Hopefully it's enjoyable. If it's not enjoyable, at least we're working to make it so. Join me tomorrow night, guys. I'll be having another stream, and hopefully I'll have another few hundred relics that you guys can see, and have a lucky day where you guys will be able to see how leveled up from 1 to 10 all in one stream. For those of you who have stuck with me through my stream, after this little battle I'm going to do here, I'll show you how many relics I've actually acquired. I had a screenshot of how many I had after I forged, and it was like 390 something. So we'll see how long or how many we've picked up in the 1,200 points I've picked up since then through battles. I will say it's been a fun stream tonight. We've had a lot of good conversation, a lot of participation from the chat. That's what really makes it fun, when there's communication back and forth. Exchange of ideas makes us all a little bit better at this game. And hopefully as you came here, you learned some strategies that'll help you save some money along the way. And for those of you who would like to know more, once again, check out the playlist that I have set up. They'll basically discuss a lot of strategies that can help you get going here without breaking the bank. Now, for those of you who are still in the stream that are talking, I am curious, what type of music do you guys like to listen to? I'm thinking about different genre types that I can bring into the stream moving forward. And if there's any that you'd like to hear, I'll see what I can do to acquire them. Now, I gotta tell you, I myself enjoy singing, but I don't know if I'll ever get to the point where Zalan has got this past week when they released the Pantheon to him singing on stream. Whew, that took balls, especially with his voice. Mad respect to you, Zalan, if you happen to be listening to this later on down the road. Oh, I've just been waiting on you, Jaeger. When you are ready to go live, let me know. I'll go over to your channel and I will post a link to it when you go live. That way we can just bring it right over. Let's start another battle here real quick. Oh, problem connecting to the server. What is this? We're going to go over to Jaeger's channel right here. Okay, here we go. I got a lot of gold here. Alright, so relics. How many relics do I have? We're at 438. So from the time that I finished getting relics to now, we've gone up about, I'd say 40 relics. Not too impressive, but not too shabby either. Do this for a little longer and I'll have all the relics I need to start forging again. Here we go. Yeah, I'm not going to attack any 700,000 places. Alright, I think Jaeger, I'm going to refresh my page here. Alright, guys, I am going to copy and paste into chat Jaeger stream. Feel free to go there. He's going to be picking Ton for this 4-hour live stream. Thank you so much for coming to visit the kingdom. And as always, farewell from the late night king himself. You guys take care. Oh, wait a second. Jaeger, are you live yet? I don't want to turn this off until you're ready to go. We can't have any breakdown. Hey, no problem, Cage. Oh, and you guys that are still in here, if you like the stream, like and subscribe. Come back. We're going to have new and better content to where the kingdom will overtake everything else. Alright. Jaeger, we have people switching over now. There are 7 people watching a dead stream here. I want to make sure everyone's able to switch over. So I'm going to stay live until I see that you're going over. Okay. It says you started the stream 1 minute. So I'm guessing things are just catching up now. Alright, anyone left in my stream, feel free to click the link, go over to Jaeger's. He is just about to begin his quest to be the craziest man alive and the longest stream known to man. I think he's got 4 or 5 hours set aside to make this work for you guys. Alright. Well, it seems as though Jaeger's stream is live. We got a lot of people over there. I don't see anything on his stream as of right now, so I'm going to go ahead and close down. For those of you who are left, thank you so much for joining me tonight. And I will look forward to seeing you guys again at another time. This is Shooter Gavin signing.